is really happening?
Yeah, it's happening.
Jurassic World Chaos Theory is the sequel series to Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. But at some point, this must all end, right? Well, how does it sound in the form of a movie? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Chaos Theory speculative video. Today, we're going to be discussing the potential over an animated movie involving the Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory storylines. Now, I know you might be confused on how this all may work, but actually, I feel as though I have a pretty good fundamental reasoning behind why this may be happening and why it is truly a good idea. So please stick around for the entirety of this video to make sure you understand it all. Recently, we saw that the title of the next Jurassic World movie is Jurassic World Rebirth. So if you happen to have missed that, head on over to my previous video to find out more. We're covering all of the details you need to know leading up to the new season of Chaos Theory, as well as a new Jurassic World movie coming next year. So be sure you subscribe to the channel for all of that pure Jurassic content coming soon, as we're targeting 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year. With only 25,000 more to go, we're cutting it a little bit close, but I still have faith in you all to be able to help us get there together. Extra support by liking and commenting on this video also helps out a ton, but for now, before I start to bore you to death, make sure you're sat back, ready and enjoying your G Fuel after using code SWERVE, as it's time to find out how a Jurassic World Chaos Theory movie could look like. So if you're in the extreme minority who don't know that Chaos Theory is actually a sequel series to Camp Cretaceous, it is. And Chaos Theory essentially follows on from the story, or the main story that we got in Camp Cretaceous, and it's kind of like a side story to the movies. They take place in the same world, but they aren't really focused too much on the main storyline of the movies. This is something really cool that people seem to be doing with movie franchises now, which is so good because you get to kind of understand a more expansive world in these cinematic universes. So yeah, that's essentially what Chaos Theory is. So when we take a look at Chaos Theory, it takes place at least 6 years after the events of Camp Cretaceous in 2016. So we know it takes place in 2022, and we know that these campers have grown up an extra 6 years, placing them at the youngest age I believe would be 19 and the oldest age would be 23 I think, or 24. Therefore these campers, they're not children anymore, they're young adults and they're old enough to appear in live action movies, which would be absolutely fantastic to see. But I don't think that it's going to happen. This is merely because it seems as though that whilst the fans would absolutely love to see like a live action Darius or a live action Bumpy or something, I don't see that happening. I feel like the most obvious one that could have happened would have been a live action Brooklyn, because Brooklyn looks a lot like Jen Ortega. But judging by the looks of Brooklyn at the end of season 1 of Chaos Theory, that's not the case anymore. And I don't really see any of these characters coming into live action anytime soon. So what's the next best thing? Get in a movie. So as we know, these storylines, these campers are getting old now, okay? Sure, they'll be around for a while. I'm sure we'll get some more movies or shows in 2035, and they can have a cameo here and there. But their story needs to end in some manner. We know this has to happen because everything comes to an end. Every good thing's come to an end. But it's about how they're going to put this to an end. And since we know that the Camp Cretaceous is the first series, and then we have Chaos Theory of the second series, potentially we might have a trilogy of series, and then after that we might have a movie. But if we don't have a third series, it makes a lot of sense to also have an animated movie. So why do I believe this? Well, when we take a look at Chaos Theory Season 1, I don't know about you guys, but it just comes across very cinematical. I can't describe it, but a lot of the scenes just felt like they were taken directly from a movie. It felt emotionally gripping from like emotional movies. It was action-packed from action movies, and it was very tense and alluring from movies as well. Everything about it just had a cinematic scope to it, and I really appreciate the way that the writers, the directors, and the executive producers were able to put it all together, especially the animators as well. They did an incredible job. And I believe that they've also gone ahead and made Chaos Theory a different, the aspect ratio I think is a little bit different. Back in Camp Cretaceous we had a standard 16:9 aspect ratio, but now we have a brand new one, which I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to make myself look silly. I don't know what it is, but you basically see the black borders, the black lines at the top and the bottom of the screen because it's a little bit thinner. Basically, movies do that quite often. Not too much series, but movies definitely do. So to me, it seems just very cinematical, and since they did such a good job with Chaos Theory Season 1, why not produce this into a movie? Now, the entire story, that has to come to an end, as we have discussed. The best way to finalize it all, since we've had like a really dragged out story in Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, we can have a quick fire 1 hour, 30 minutes or nearly 2 hour animated movie to finalize everything coming together. And let's say we do get a third series, whatever it might be called. Let's say there's only 4 seasons of that series. The last episode, the last season of that series basically builds it all up to the movie, and then everything finalizes in the movie. I think that would be absolutely incredible. But what we must remember here, the animation looks great. Why is that? DreamWorks. Guys, it's a DreamWorks production at the end of the day, and you guys know how good DreamWorks are. Shark Tale, Shrek. I wish I could name other ones off the top of my head right now. But you've seen the DreamWorks movies and they are incredible. So who's to say that they can't go ahead and make something for Jurassic? I mean, the closest thing to an animated Jurassic movie that we have from DreamWorks would actually be How to Train Your Dragon. And whilst I've only seen it maybe once or twice in my life, I'm sure loads of you guys have seen it a lot more, if you look at that scope and then you kind of just put like a Jurassic spin on it, you can see how a Jurassic animated movie would actually work, and it wouldn't be too kiddish, let's say, especially if you want to take the events of Chaos Theory into it as well. So I do believe that if they were to create a movie, DreamWorks are the perfect company to go ahead and do exactly that. It would be a little bit weird to say that we technically have 8 Jurassic movies but only 7 in live action, but in a way I think that's kind of cool at the same time. But with all of this being said, we must think, do we have anything to base this theory off? Well, I actually made a post over on Twitter regarding this and this idea, and somebody actually said that DreamWorks have already done this with a show called Troll Hunters. Apparently, they made 3 series of Troll Hunters with multiple seasons, and then they finalized that storyline of Troll Hunters in a movie format. So I didn't even know that they did this before I made that tweet. And when I saw that, I was like, well, it has to happen now, surely. Chaos Theory had a cinematic lens. Camp Cretaceous was a great story, especially seasons 1 to 3, and there's so much more to come from Chaos Theory, and we want to see these campers make their way into a movie of some kind. It probably isn't going to happen with a live action movie, but an animated movie makes a lot of sense. So the fact that DreamWorks have already done this in the past, I wouldn't put it past them that they might do the same thing here with an animated Jurassic movie. We just have to wait and see, and if you guys really want to see this, go down to the comments now, because I know that Universal and DreamWorks and Amblin, they watch my videos, okay? So if they see a lot of hype like this, just maybe there's a chance that we might get something like this. So go ahead down to the comments and let me know if this is something you're open to seeing, because to be honest, I'd be so excited for an animated movie. I didn't think I'd ever say that in my life, but with how good the stories of Camp Cretaceous Season 1 and Season 3 were, plus Chaos Theory Season 1, and maybe even Season 2 and Season 3 of Chaos Theory, I would love to see what they can do with a Jurassic animated movie, to be honest. It's going to be different, sure, it might be hit and miss at the moment, but at the same time, I have my faith in DreamWorks, Universal and Amblin just to hopefully create something really, really good in a cinematic format. So yeah, I fully believe that at some point this decade, we deserve to have an animated movie for the franchise. But not just one random one out of nowhere, we need it to be connected to the Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory stories. This way, we can finalize that story in such a fitting and right way, and also, technically, have a new movie to the Jurassic name. Amblin, DreamWorks, fight with Universal to make this happen, please. I know that the fans would love to see something like this. It's the best way to end the animated storyline with these campers. And you guys watching right now, comment and show your support for something like this. Prove to Universal that this is something that we do want. And don't forget to like the video if you agree as well, and subscribe if you're new around here. But most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.